Now, in my opinion, Hinge is the best dating app going at the moment for guys in 2023, going into 2024. But it still amazes me how many guys are making such rookie errors all the time. They come to me, they're asking, why do I get no matches? And it's clear as daylight that they're making blatant mistakes.
Big mistake. Big. Huge.
So as we approach the end of 2023, I thought I would put together 6 tips that any guy can implement and start getting matches probably like later today if you start doing these things. And the good news is that they're really simple. So look, let's dive into it because any guy can implement these things and start getting more matches. So the number one thing where I see guys missing out on is having a voice prompt. So what that means is instead of just typing out a prompt answer to display on your profile, you're simply going to actually do a little voice recording and they can press play and hear your voice. Now, this is such a good opportunity for a number of reasons. First and foremost, it allows you to really convey your tone. If you're making a little bit of a joke, sometimes that can get lost in translation. Your tone might not come through, but if you're using your voice, it's much more clear.
Like I said, whatever.
Like I said, whatever? This guy.
Secondly, it's just a little bit more personal. No longer are you just some pixels on a screen. They can actually hear your voice so they know what to expect when you guys meet up on a date.
Nice.
And thirdly, it still actually kind of amazes me with a lot of clients, the results or reaction that they can get. Now, what I mean by that is, look, I've got like a fairly deep voice, yes, but some of my clients don't, yet they put these voice messages up. And so often they will get messages saying like, wow, your voice is so nice. I don't know what it is exactly. Seriously guys, put up a voice prompt and I guarantee you're going to be a little bit surprised by the results. You're going to have at least someone commenting on your voice.
Find your voice.
Number 2, this one is a little bit more general or obvious to some, but it amazes me how many guys are making so many mistakes when it comes to your photos. So simply put, when it comes to your photos, first photo especially needs to be clear, it needs to be high quality, it needs to be generally full body, not just too close up of your face. You looking at the camera, not looking away, looking all pouty and trying to do model looks, and smiling. Don't cover yourself up with glasses, a hat, anything. Don't be in the gym, don't have your shirt off, and get yourself a good camera or borrow one from a friend to make sure that that shot is clear. And last but not least, make sure it is current. Do not use a photo from 2+ years ago because you think maybe you look a little bit better, you were in better shape, you had all of your hair. Cut that out, guys. It needs to be current so your match knows what to expect when you guys meet up, because I assume for pretty much all of you, that is the goal. Third, a bit of an extension of the last one. Instead of just focusing on how good you look in your photos, focus on the feeling that it will elicit. So what I mean by this is I see it all the time where a guy will like spend a day doing like a photo shoot in his house, he set up a tripod, things like that, standing up against a wall, and like he might look good, but it doesn't really create any feeling. The person looking at those photos isn't seeing that and going, wow, I want to be in that guy's life. So what I'm getting at, guys, is do your best to include some photos that shows a little bit of your fun side, some hobbies, you doing something cool, something obscure in the background, so your match can get a bit of a sense of who you are, realize maybe you're a bit funny, get an idea of your hobbies, and well, imagine themselves with you. Number 4, include something in your prompts that is going to get a response. So what I mean by that is it can be a question, it can be a call to action, or even better, something that's a little bit polarizing. Now, what I mean by that is something that's like a little bit, maybe even slightly controversial, not over the top talking about politics or your stance on a war or something like that. I'm generally talking about a little opinion or something that's like slightly controversial. Maybe there's a TV show that everybody loves and you just don't. Maybe there's a food that you hate, everybody likes, a restaurant in your area that everybody goes to, but you just think it's lame. This sparks conversation. On top of that, a call to action or a question can really get conversation started rather than just the boring sort of surface level stuff that I see a lot of Hinge conversations start off with. Even better would be to mix the 2 tips that I've said already and use a voice prompt to include a slightly controversial opinion. Trust me guys, you have a much better chance of getting a response using something like this than just adding things in like, oh, I like to hang out with my friends and Yeah, I like to work hard, play hard, go to the gym, adventure. All that stuff is so overdone and it doesn't create any feeling whatsoever.
I just wanna feel.
Number 5 is to not swipe on everyone. I see this all the time where guys will go on and be like, oh yeah, she's kind of hot, she's kind of hot. Yeah, like I would. That's bad, but that's how a lot of guys swipe. And the thing is with Hinge, if you don't have Hinge Plus or Hinge X, you've only been limited to 6 likes per day. Use them wisely. I highly suggest that you use them on people that not only are specifically your type and just like really do it for you, but ones that you can imagine it's kind of going to be reciprocated. What I mean, guys, is just be a little bit more real. Don't use your 6 swipes on the very first 6 people you see. Try to be slightly more calculated with the people that you are choosing. The algorithm then should do its thing and realize that you are getting a much better swipe to match ratio, and therefore it will deem your profile as more desirable and show you to more people. And number 6, look, this is just after you match, but it still applies so much, and it's one that I don't think gets talked about enough, and that is to ride momentum. Now look, your Hinge conversations don't need to be back and forth constantly all the time, but you are going to be doing yourself a much better favor and jumping into a really nice, flowy, engaging conversation if you are using momentum on your side. Now this is coming from a little bit of personal experience. I am a terrible texter at times. I know that's quite ironic with what I do for a living, but sometimes life gets in the way. I get bored, I look at my phone, I think, you know, I'll just reply later. Now, the amount of Hinge conversations that have fizzled because of that are crazy. I see it with my clients as well, purely just my own fault. But if you're riding momentum, you are doing yourself a huge favor. You should really aim for that start of the conversation all the way until you getting a date or getting a number or an Instagram or a WhatsApp to really happen within that same day. Do not, for the love of God, start being pen pals and write long messages every few hours and then think maybe in about a week's time I'm going to ask her out. Use momentum, guys. Get things rolling, because someone else is just going to jump in and take your place if you don't. And if you want some actual like real world examples and how to actually do this yourself, go check out my new online dating course down in the description. It is called Hook Her Heart, and that will tell you exactly how to do all of this, how to construct an awesome profile, exactly how to take photos, what to put in your bio, your prompts, everything you need to know to get more matches, and then more importantly, what to do after to get the dates. The link is down in the description. There's a bit of an introductory price going at the moment as well. If you're not entirely sure where you're going wrong and what you need to focus on, I've also included a free quiz down below, which will tell you the area that you need to focus on, and then I'll provide some help on how to do that as well. And once you got all of that sorted, watch my other video, which will tell you exactly how to have good conversations, harnessing my 6 pillars of conversation. Yeah, it's a little cute marketing name, but go check it out to know exactly what those are. But guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video today and it's given you some actionable advice. If you've liked it, go ahead and press that like button, subscribe, do all of that stuff, and I'll see you later.